Hi, I'm Random Trashy and welcome to the channel. Today I've got something brand new for you. It's the Amoeba AM-014. So it's a shorter handrailed version of the 13, also known as the Honey Badger. If you are interested in the 13, there is a full review video, shooting video and everything on the channel. So jumping into this, it's the AM-014. It's the black version. One thing I really love about Aries, and I just like about the Amoeba brand in itself, they really go to town with all their packaging. If you've ever bought anything like a GMP or a Umarex, they just come in a boring brown box, not very well protected, and I sometimes feel that, you know, the gun's sort of slung out to you from the factory. Aries really go to town with it, really nice promotional marketing imagery across the front, good confirmation of what you've got here. So it's the AM-014 in black, health and safety information about the gun and some products on the back. So if you want to get magazines or anything like that, then you can quote the product number from the back. Nice handle on the front of the box, just makes carrying things around a little bit easier. I do like using gun bags, I think they're much more of a secure option for your guns, but if you do need to transit it, you can do it in this box. Get it open, so I'm just going to ping these open at the bottom, open this box up. On top here you've got the breakdown manual for the gun, full guide, full list of parts, all the part numbers on here. You know, you could use this as a guide to take the gun apart if you really wanted to. Also, if there's something that breaks, and you can just quote the part number to Aries, I'm sure they'll be able to get a replacement out to you, not a problem. So it's a really handy thing to have and something that doesn't always come with other airsoft guns. Solid bit of cardboard on top, just protects the gun from getting any damage. And then just pulling and opening this up, you can see in here all the crushed cardboard, you know, just to keep the gun in place. It means it's not going to rattle around in there and not going to get damaged. The gun is all bagged up as well, so it's just remove it from the box. Now this is just going to stop it from getting any damage, any wear, anything like that, any rubbing on the boxes during transit. And here we have it here. So this is the AM-014, very similar to the Honey Badger. Obviously you've got the much shorter rail on here, the silencer feels really nice, and the gun feels very solid. So in comparison to when I first got out my Aries, which is the AM-013, which is the long handrailed version, also known as the Honey Badger, did feel a little bit loose, and I have noticed with just having a look at this previously, it was very sturdy in comparison. No magazine in this, obviously no battery, it's straight out of the factory, so I will keep it on safe. If you do see me pointing it towards the camera, there's no worries that there's going to be any BBs in here. Really solid. So let's just have a quick brief overview of the gun, moving from the back to the front. We've got a collapsible stock here, so you just pinch those two buttons in either side, you can tuck that right in. The thing I love about this, if you're on a single point sling, you compress that down, the gun is nice and out of the way. If you've ever used single point slings and you've got a long stock, sometimes the stock ends up under your face in the way, especially if you're using NV, everything tucked in, out the way. It's not going to knock at the NV, it's not going to move or you know, restrain you from having any sort of head movement at all. So tucked out the way, nice and low like that. If you have got an NV unit on, or you're trying to say stay low, conceal yourself, tucking it out the way is always going to help. Bring it back up, have to depress them two again, little bit of spring on there, locks that into place. One thing I do love about this stock is the shape, the ergonomics of it. Very thin, like very narrow, but it's also very short. So it also helps getting it right into the shoulder there. As you can see, it fits very nicely into the crease of your shoulder and allows you to really get behind that gun very well. Just leave that extended. This is all polymer. The only part of this that's metal is the rails for the stock itself. Moving towards the top of the gun, the upper and lower receiver are polymer. Don't let that put you off about this gun at all. I fell on my AM-013, the Honey Badger at the Valley, completely laden with gear. I do go over it in the video, and fell on the middle of the body. No damage was done to the gun at all, which was really good. So the polymer bodies are absolutely solid. Also, they don't soak up that much cold, so you won't have as many issues with, you know, the gun being absolutely freezing. Moving down to the bottom, we've got a nice polymer grip handle here, stippling on the outside of it, and you know, a nice kind of like ridged edge, you know, just to give you some nice grip. Moving across the bottom, nice ergonomic trigger area as well there, that's nice and wide, allows you to get a finger in there with a glove. Moving towards the front, we've got a nice bit of grip on the front of the mag well, so if you do hold it with your hand in against the mag, which quite a lot of players do, especially with these SBR styled rifles, then having the hand in there, you've got that little bit of grip for the top of your fingers. The top rail is metal, and we've got some nice sights on here as well that sit down the rail. I'm not really a fan of iron sights. I don't really see myself using them all that much. I do like putting a nice optic on the top of these, but they're a nice little thing to be included, and if you did need them as a backup, they would work perfectly. Metal top rail. Moving towards the front, we've got a polymer full rail across the top of there, which is really, really nice. Lovely thing to include with the gun, and one across the bottom, so all of your accessories can fit down these rails. You can take them off, and obviously this is an 8-point modular handrail, so there's 8 points of contact where you can put the rail pieces. Talking about that, they do come with some spare rail pieces here, and I do have some left over from my last gun. I did find putting one of these little short rail pieces up the front on the left hand side was perfect for a torch. As you can see, with my hand laid underneath where my thumb ends up, would be perfect to turn a torch on and off if you are going in to do some CQB stuff. So full metal front end, as I say, feels very, very rigid in comparison to my AM-014. Maybe they've made some slight changes on the bodywork. Maybe this is just a later iteration, but it does feel very, very nice. As you can see, there is no noise coming from that at all, and there is literally not one little bit of movement, which is really, really nice. As I say, full metal front end keeps it nice and solid. Good thing about the internals on the Aries, that are absolutely bomb-proof. Comes with a V2 style gearbox with the EFCS controller in there as well, so it's an electronic fighter control unit. Gives it a very snappy trigger, and it gives it a very, very responsive shot when you are trying to lay down multiple shots. Comes with a standard 6.03 barrel, so it's almost down there at the tight bore level. You can get very good shot groupings out of this gun straight out of the box. So very, very nice gun, very, very compact, and performs extremely well. My last one come out of the box, Chrono, in it about 400 FPS, had to take it down for my sight limits. So I put an M110 spring in it, so I presume there was an M120 in here, and it brought it down to about 350. Brought the cycle of the fire up massively. Very, very rapid shots on that lighter spring. So what I will do now is jump to the Chrono footage, jump to some shooting footage, and then do a full review of the gun at the end. Hi guys, so we're all set up. I'll quickly insert an image so you can see down to the target from where I am. It's about 50 feet from here, so it's a good distance to test this gun. I have not adjusted the hop up, so it will be exactly how it comes out of the factory. Have got a camera down at the target end, so I'll insert that footage now and put some shots on down at the target. Put some full auto down there as well, see how that. Let's go to the conclusion. So guys, really, really impressed with the performance from the AM-014. I just wanted to quickly go over what else came in the box with it, and then I'll do my final rundown. So in the box with this, we've obviously got the spare rail parts, two shortened rails, and one that is about 10 centimeters long for you to put maybe optics on, 45 maybe canted optics, torches, peg boxes, anything like that. So they're really handy to have. You get some spare bolts to put those on, a unjamming rod, really nice. We've got a swab feed on this end, hopefully you can see that. Feeds the material through there, run it through the barrel, it'll get it nice and clean, and an unblocker on the other end for a nice rubber top, so it's not going to do any damage to the inside of the barrel. It does come with a 300 round high cap that you can fill up from the top and then wind up from the bottom. High cap's banned on the sites that I play, so this is just going to be a backup mag just in case someone really needs a magazine, or all my mags go down, God forbid. But yeah, if not, I'm going to use that. Solid gun. Really, really impressed with this. I don't think I can praise it enough. If you can pick one up for a decent enough price, then definitely head out and get one. They have skyrocketed at the moment, the price for these. I've seen them up for £270, around that mark. I paid $200 for mine, coming from Hong Kong. I've done an order with a couple of other guns, and including the shipping, it set me back about £160, £180. Really don't mind paying that for this gun. It is absolutely solid, as you can see. 410 FPS out of the box, and out at 50 feet with 2.5 gram BBs. We've got about a 15 centimetre spread with no hop settings at all. By the time you dialed that hop in, I'm pretty sure you'd be punching the middle of that target out. Solid gun, very, very lightweight, very nice to use as well. Nice light polymer, you know, with a nice straight up front end. As soon as you've got a good optic on top of here, be happy to drop down to this. Solid gun, really, really impressed with it. If you do have any questions about this, please feel free to drop them in the box below. If you're interested in a honey badger, I've got a full review, shooting videos, chronos, breakdowns, everything on the channel. Feel free to head back to the channel and check those videos out. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. Please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate all the support you guys give me. Hopefully that will cover everything. If you do have any questions, obviously drop them in the box below. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all soon.